As you have probably noticed, the ads are silent, the polls are closed. Yesterday's elections are now basically just a part of our memories, and they broke records across the board. CBS 2 News reporter Joy Howe in Cedar Rapids to tell us why they broke records not once, not twice, but several times over.
That's right, Tiffany, indeed. You know, Iowa is a place rich with history. Just think about Cedar Rapids. Think about what we built and then rebuilt. Yesterday, it was a chance to make history again in the state. And that happened for a lot of people who ran, even if you didn't win, even if your candidate didn't win. Just the fact that you showed up at the polls yesterday means you made history in Iowa.
Firsts. Sometimes you don't have to win to get one. Take the race between Braley and Joni Ernst, for example. According to OpenSecrets.org, it was the first time a race ever got this expensive in Iowa history. It was the first time auditors across the state, like Joe Miller, saw absentee ballot requests like ever before.
Certainly this was one of the more recent records that we've set, and likely is the third largest race we've had, or election we've had in the last 10 or 20 years.
It was the first time Iowa had the potential to send a woman to Washington, and the first time they actually did.
There's just so much changing and so many big topics.
But in between the first, there were a few things that some people would like to be done for the last time.
Commercials were just nonstop.
Trends. I worked hard when our national
about protecting Social Security.
The more the campaign season dragged on, the more people began to feel like the midterms were more of a long-term heckling event.
We get what we get, I guess.
But despite it all, whether your first choice came out on top, take a moment to consider the words of this future voter.
I would like to be a citizen. I would like to be part of the vote next year or anytime.
The bickering, the ads, all of it is put into perspective by a young lady who says when she's fortunate enough to become a citizen and just be able to vote in this country,
I really love this country and I'm praying to be here forever.
She'll be happy to be one of the first in line.
Of course, here is another first for you. Of course, U.S. Governor, or now Iowa Governor, rather, Terry Branstad, will now be the longest-serving governor in the U.S. And yet another first for you. We obliterated early voting records in Iowa during this midterm election. 4 years ago, Iowans held the record for early votes by casting about 350,000. That was the record. We beat that record this midterm election, Tiffany, by 100,000 votes. We beat it.
Wow. Hey, Joy, is that early voting and absentee voting trend expected to continue?
Indeed it is. In fact, Auditor Joel Miller today said that things go so much more smoothly at the polls. There's a lot less wait time and a lot less time, downtime that he says, the time for error that can happen. And he wants to make a push to have his voters in the 2016 presidential election have half of his voters vote early before that. Well, we're live at 5. Joy Howe, CBS 2 News.
I like how he thinks. Joy, thank you so much.